All right, welcome back to Jack on Tracks, ladies and gentlemen, and here we are working on this steam engine for the Overland build. I'm either going to fix it or screw it up completely. So I'm thinking possibly this motor's bad. I don't know how, but also this wiring in here is a little chewed up. So I'm going to replace it, and I'm going to solder in the leads that I need for the firebox flicker. If this works and I get the new motor, and if I can get this back together again, and it's definitely this motor, then I can just order one part, and it's about $50. If not, I got to order the whole chassis. Not looking forward to doing that. This solder was like this solder is pretty hard stuff. So I'm hoping that this comes off. I don't know why. It just seems to be probably a different temperature solder, and I just want to clean it up and get some of this old solder off, because it's really, I think, messing this up. Alright, so let me get my brush here. Alright, so we got that fixed. Alright. Alright, the first one we're going to do is going to be this blue. These wires are way too long, I know this. Alright, I'll do one thing real quick. Make sure none of these are touching. Alright. Our connections are clean. I don't have purple wire, so it's going to go yellow. I know it's a little confusing because that's yellow. Will probably change that out, because I do have the tools to crimp these now. So there's that. That's all soldered back up. that back in there again. Double check, make sure we don't have any connections going across the boards. Now comes the fun part. Now we have to see if we have continuity. So, alright, so this harness is clean as far as I can tell. So, good continuity. Everything's soldered in. Pins are all soldered together. Oh, there's one scraggly hair. Ooh, you thought you were going to sneak past me. Not today, Satan. Alright. So, here we are with this. Alright. These wires are a little bit bigger. And there's 2 extra ones in here now. So, let's hope we can get them all in. Alright, so that answers that. We're going to have to pull these 2 extra wires out. Alright, I need the room. Alright, so it's not really going to affect anything because in reality, these 2 wires are going to be up in this area anyway, so I'm not too concerned about them not going through. So the wires that were in here were a bit stiff. These are definitely more flexible than just silicone coated wires. And the wires that were in here were thinner. So it's not anything to do with quality or anything like that. It's just that's what the manufacturer used and that's what they spec'd out for. So this is a little bit, if I can order a thinner wire, I'm actually considered doing it because a lot of stuff that I've been working on really needs that thinner wire. But it's not really too big of an issue with this unit because there's only 4 wires going through here. The fun part is now I got a wire, I got to resolder this. So let me just come in here, give this a little bit of a cleaning, get some of this extra oil off of here. You know, that drives me crazy. When I picked this engine up, it ran. And the wires broke off the plug, and After that is when this thing started having problems. So I'm assuming that those wires I took off, one of these wires got crimped and was making contact in the frame somewhere. That's what I'm going with right now. Or possibly I got a bad motor. I have a couple of leftover Digitrax decoders that I really don't care if they blow up. So I'm using those as testing with this thing. All right, there's that. All right, that was a little bit hair raising. Now let's get this back together again. This is the part that really gets me, is getting these stupid pickups in here. Alright, so now what I need to do is I need to test this motor. So just give me a couple minutes and we'll be right back. Alright guys, so I tested this out and it appears to be working. It doesn't have any real low speed performance. But that's on DC. Sometimes the DCC cleans it up. Okay. So I tested it out and it was not drawing crazy amps. I mean, it barely drew an amp. So I'm assuming that means I'm good. I have the decoder that's in here that might be blown. That was a Digitrax decoder, and I have the Digitrax decoder upstairs, which I think I blew too, but I really don't give a shit. They were like low quality decoders anyway. As far as their regular decoders go, they're pretty deep. They're all right. They're in the same price range as every other entry level decoder. So it has its limitations, but if you're going to go with other Soundtrax decoders in your stuff, then just buy the Soundtrax wired decoder. I actually think they're the same exact price, and I believe the Soundtrax one actually has like more functions. I don't know. Double check yourself. Do your own math. Figure it out. All right. Let's take this out. We're gonna give all this a little bit of a cleaning because some gack on that. I don't like it. That didn't feel good. All right. So towel. Wipe that off. Him over here. A little more cleaned up. That is my oil. Every time I look. All right, so this is the oil, and that's what's going to go in here. You don't need a lot. You'd be surprised. I've seen engines come in at the club that they just it's just a ridiculous amount of oil that's on them. You don't need that much oil. And what I'm really worried about is this stupid cog belt, because I don't know if they make these to replace these. I hope they do, because that would really not look good at look on a good look for Bachman. Because these belts are going to go bad over time, and it'd be nice to be able to replace them. Not have to spend $120 on a drive. I've been sitting on a shelf for as long as these things have been in production, and the belt is bad. All right, so I think one of the problems I had originally with this was that if you look, these wires fit in a small little channel in here. And I think what happened was one of the motor wires, because they're on the outside, got caught in here and pinched off to the frame and was shorting to the frame. And I'm hoping that's what was causing the issue. I really don't know how to address this problem with getting it in there. I can't use glue because the wires are silicone, and they're not going to the glue's not going to adhere to the silicone. So what I'm going to do, and I may regret this, is I'm going to try to put a little piece of Capcom tape in here, which I know is futile because as soon as I pull anything up, it's going to come off. And I'm just going to have to try and just make sure I'm extra careful with it. That's a lot of not fun, but all right. So that, and definitely sitting on wire. Now, this back one back here is going to be fun from now on. I got enough room in there. I'll go in there. All right. I hear you. It's hard to believe, but I did clean off this desk a little bit. Apparently not enough. As far as I can tell right now, everything is good. So what I need to do is I need to get this actually glued down, which is not a big deal. That's gonna dry. So I think we got this figured out a little bit. I'm contemplating getting a Decoder buddy. I usually don't use Decoder buddies because they're a little big sometimes for certain things, but I think I'm going to wind up doing that in this one. I think I have enough room in here. We'll probably, since I have the clips, I have the ability to crimp wires now, these little wires. I'm going to make these out of the wires that I have and label these up correctly in the right order, that the way it's supposed to be, color-wise, or possibly just make them all black. I'm on the edge on that right now. So once I do that, this is more flexible. I'll have more room in here. I should be able to fit a Decoder buddy and a 21-pin decoder up front. And that leaves me this whole back end over here for a giant speaker housing. And that's what I want. I want some sound out of this thing. So that's where we're going to go later on down the road with that. These two wires are going to be the firebox flicker. And I'm going to try to figure out how to put a LED down here. I don't know if I can. I don't know if I want to. I may just use these two to power the. I'll drill a hole in the back head over here, and just put a single LED in there, and have a firebox flicker. I think that might make a little more sense to me, and I'll go from there. I'm going to call this. I'm going to call it the video for this. Thanks for watching Jack on Tracks. Like and subscribe. Hit that notification button if you're interested in more stuff like this. I'm going to be doing a lot more decoder installs, and I'm going to start finishing up the 2 cars I have left for the Overton build. So I do appreciate you guys watching and putting up my shenanigans and my nonsense. As you can tell, sometimes I'm a little unorganized. Well, not all the time I'm unorganized, but sometimes I kind of lose track of where I'm going with a video. But I think we got this one narrowed down for now, and we're gonna move on. Thanks for watching, and as always, I'll catch you later.